This is September 15th, 2023. Um, Again today. Today I was up in Akron working and some blonde girl came out of the house. She didn't know what they did to her before and da 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 and running her mouth. I'll take care of it. Alright? During the case, told you, two blonde girls showed up, big chest, said they were Dave's illegitimate daughters. He had an affair on me, and they grew up with nothing because he didn't leave me. Okay? And their friends were going to make sure I didn't have anything because they didn't have it. They were going to punish me because their mother was a whore. Cheated with my husband and victimized me by cheating with my husband. And so they were going to be extortionists too. Do you realize, and the people helping out for them, how stupid are they? Because the whole thing of it is, do I owe them anything in life? No. If they can get a DNA test, and Dave is really their father, he's a deadbeat dad, and the only one that owes them anything is Dave. And their mother. Right? They're grown-ass women now. And now they're extortionists, trying to steal from a victim their mother was victimizing throughout my marriage. Huh? They didn't know about it. See, 30 years ago, my dad used to be a VP of my Midwest Rubber. Gave my brother-in-law Tim a job, my brother Pete, and then a year after I married Dave, gave Dave a job. Now, if he was already having an affair with this woman, whose fault is it he didn't tell me and we break up right away? Some woman started using my insurance, started getting bills for things I didn't go to the doctor for. And because you didn't have to have ID, you could just call in your insurance information later, we got stuck with the bills. She stole and committed insurance fraud and identity theft. She'll go to jail for that. If those two are really, that lady's daughter that stole my identity and committed an insurance fraud, her mother's still alive, they'll go to jail. And their mother already cost us a lot of medical bills that I couldn't prove that weren't mine. Because I had even a weird phone call from a hospital once. We'd like to talk to you about your stay here. I didn't stay at your hospital lately. Well, you see Dr. So-and-so. No, I don't. We have 2 little girls. No, I have 3 stinky little boys. Always wanted girls, but it's not me. Well, your insurance is this. Yes, but that's not me. I didn't stay there. Well, your daughter's names are da-da-da. No, I have 3 boys. And those 2 girls showing up and saying they were that lady's daughters. If their mother's still alive, she's going to go to jail. Because then even my brother Pete said the union went after Dave for letting some other woman use my insurance. You do realize she had no right committing identity fraud and insurance fraud. They're going to get it if their mother's alive. The police already know someone impersonated me and used my insurance before. Stayed in hospital, had treatments and all kinds of stuff. And we got stuck with the bills. Their mother will go to jail. And them for attempt of extortion. The only person owes them any kind of money if they want to sue Dave for being a deadbeat dad. See, we're going to put it this way. My son Josh, he's on his 3rd marriage. His first marriage with Ashley. They got married when they were 18 and it didn't work out and they had Crystal. Well, they rebounded to Allison, and Allison was horrible, even though they had 4, okay? And then he was single for a while, and then he married Dixie. And he's been married to Dixie for years. Okay? Now, does Crystal's mom, Ashley, owe Flora anything in life? No. It's not her daughter. Or Ashley is Crystal's mother. She owes her, but Allison, the second wife, doesn't owe Crystal, Ashley's daughter, anything. Nothing. She was just Josh's second wife. And Ashley don't owe Flora, Allie's daughter, anything. Why? Because it's Allison's daughter and Josh's. Exactly. Nor would I ever owe those girls anything in life. Nor would they have the right to open their mouth because their mother's a whore and cheated and victimized me and stole my identity and used my insurance while she was cheating on my husband. With my husband behind my back and wasn't woman enough to come tell me. So whose fault would it be that she didn't file for child support? Their mother. Exactly. Because I would have divorced the bastard a long time ago. See what I mean? And then their friends, you'll have nothing because we have nothing. The mental illness of those girls. See what I mean? If that is them. If that is them. They're just extortionists like their mother. I owe them nothing in life, nor could they ever say a word to me. I'm not their mother, nor am I related to them. My cheating ex-husband is their own mother's fault for being stupid enough to go out with a cheater. And then stupid enough not to file for child support. Now, if they want to go after their deadbeat dad and take his retirement fund and his big old house, go for it, ladies. But I owe them nothing in life, and where would those people and their friends ever think I did? It was their mother victimizing me by stealing my identity and using my insurance and committing identity and insurance fraud. If their mother is alive, then that's her. She's going to go to jail because cops already know somebody was impersonating me. And if are they trying to turn their mother in? See, where even my oldest son, John, him and Melissa broke up all the time. And they were broke up over a year, or about a year, and he met Kelsey, and they had Riley, okay? Then John got back with Melissa. Does Melissa owe Riley anything in life? No. Absolutely not. Think about that. Just like Ashley don't owe Flora a damn thing. And neither does Allison owe Crystal. They're not their children. Nor do they have a right. Do you realize the mental illness of those girls? We grew up with nothing, so she'll have nothing. I had nothing to do with you not growing up with anything. Go after the bastard that created you. And his big house and his big retirement fund. See, it's been everybody's mental illness of wanting to put their dirty fingers in this and trying to extort money. I owe them nothing in life. They're trying to turn their mother in for insurance fraud and identity fraud. Because cops already knew somebody did it. They want to turn their mother in. Didn't they want to go in as an extortionist too? Taking after their mother? Because I owe them a damn thing. Not a damn thing in life. Not one thing. I don't know them. I've seen them off in distance talk to people. But I don't know them. And they're not related to me. And I owe them nothing in life. Nor would they have a right to open their mouth to me. Besides, we're sorry our mother cheated on you with, well, they were married. You didn't know about us. We're going after that bastard and his big house and his retirement fund. Exactly. See, if that is them from the 30 years ago, They're trying to turn their mother in? Because if their mother's alive, she's going to go to jail. Because the cops already know about her. And where would her friends think that I owed them anything when I had nothing to do with any of them, nor knew of them? Dave's like, oh, it's some crazy woman just stole your ID. She's not using it, and we're getting stuck with these bills. My brother Pete said the union went after him for letting him, some other lady use my insurance. So, does she want the law to make them pay back the insurance company? And me? Where we had a forfeit out of pocket? For her stealing and my identity? And using our insurance? That's against the law. And so where would her daughters think that I owed them anything? And to make sure I have nothing? Do you realize how mentally ill that is? I had nothing to do with the creation. Didn't even know they were really Dave's. Because Dave was putting off some crazy woman just stole my ID. You want to put it that way? I owe them nothing in life, and nor would they ever be able to think that I should. That would be like Flora saying that Ashley owes her money in life. She owes her nothing. She's just Josh's first wife. Or Crystal saying Allison owes her anything. She's just Josh's second wife. They owe him nothing because they didn't create him and they didn't bring him in this world. And what house they live in, if their mother was too stupid to file for child support, that's her own damn fault. It's her own damn fault for having an affair with a married man and didn't come say something to the wife. And it's her own damn fault for stealing my ID and using my insurance. That's a long time in federal prison, ladies. But do you realize that's where even one of those guys were up there telling those construction workers up in there, don't say anything to her. The guy that actually did this to her, she's never even met him. And he needs to realize how not funny this is. He did all this for his daughter to get everything, and then her ex-husband didn't even work out with his daughter. And he did all those things, and she's never even met him. Well, then how did he do it? We don't know, but it's already verified everything was Photoshop what he was doing. Don't say a word. Okay, and then a bunch of other things he told him. See, that's where the whole thing of it is. They've already... See, I thought SWAT teams, hailstones from heaven, when Lighthouse Tabernacle made fun of the FBI, June 7th, 23, would rain down on them. FBI agent John fell for the stun of tapes before. Oh, come on now. That agent actually fell for it. It was only a start. Is that what's going on? FBI agent John fell for the stun of tapes before? Is that why they got away with it? Because FBI agent John fell for the stun of tapes before? Walmart 62, June 7th, 23, 10:11 in the morning, by the front bathrooms. They taped an audio. In every aisle, they sold videos of them mocking the vets. I'm like, SWAT teams, right? They're going to get them now. The sheriffs already had Eric's confession of November 18, 22. Walmart 62, 2 to 6 p.m. All the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to do it, my idea to say it. For all these people turn on, they fell for it. Well, if it's only you, I could take care of it. I know it's that bad, they still fell for it. Then I ID'd as Eric November 24th, 22 at Mercy Medical. The nurse taking care of me to the Lady Canton officer. Nobody should say a word to her. We all heard that Eric made fun of us for falling for it. And they said, well, the agent that bullied her into saying she was lying when she wasn't. Everybody knows about John and Morton. See, that's where the whole thing of it is. They're stealing from the case. They opened my case and left me up there in a drug cartel abusing the hell out of me. And where those construction workers last Thursday were outside. What they did is a mean teenage stunt, what they did to her. But it's not funny. Because they raped her. It's not funny they left me covered in bruises either. Throwing up, heart racing, heart pounding through my neck. Almost passing out. I was seen by Altman family physician for giant bruises all over me. Throwing up, headache, migraine headache, dizzy, a severe swollen personal infection until I couldn't hardly go to the bathroom. And it's like, what's wrong with me? Did you fall? No, I don't know where all these bruises are coming from. Maybe you're becoming anemic. No, I'm being drug beaten right. Give me something for migraine headaches, throwing up, iron pills, and then pills and creams for the infection. I'm being human trafficked out of my own home. See, that's where that guy said, don't say anything to her. That guy needs to realize how not funny what he did to her. He did it all for his daughter, and then her ex-husband and his daughter didn't even work out. Oh, it wasn't funny anymore. This little 18-year-old kid with a 60-year-old man had her daddy and her drug friends break in and stalk me, kick my door in the wall, Photoshop a shower scene. That's what I've heard of. And where they left the bruises of roofied me. There's been amnesia drugs since 1960s. Like LSD, hallucinating drugs. You walk around, you don't know what you're saying and doing. There's been acid and a bunch of other ones that you're walking around. Now they call them roofies. And they've refined them over 60 years. They can put them in injections called needling somebody. You walk up and you stab them. It takes less than a minute to take effect. They use it in bigger cities. In nightclubs, that's how they get women out of a bar. You're sleepwalking for 4 to 6 hours. I've never talked to anybody. See, that's where that guy said she's never met the man that did it to her. And how could he do it? He said, we don't know. But it's already been verified. Everything he did was photoshopped. Because we also got Ed at the Oakland apartment, the guy at the Hunger Task Force, my client's neighbor in Navarre. Everything was drugged and photoshopped and made up on it. And they've already admitted to the shower scene May 12, 22 and May 26, 22. My phone's tapped and my car's bugged. FBI. And then drugged and told us that May 25th, 21, 8-9, 21, November 2nd, 3rd, 21, everything's drugged and photoshopped. January 19, 22, drugged and told us that. February 2nd, 22, drugged and told us that. March 24th, 22, framed. And then Eric confessed November 18, 22. And then they made fun of the cult. The cult made fun of the FBI on June 7th, 23. And then July 9th, 23, they dared the FBI to fix it. I thought, hailstones from heaven, SWAT teams, right? They're eventually going to get him. Then nothing. Then people around me is like, so the local FBI afraid of him? It's like, I wonder. Because they have their confessions. They left me. They made fun of me on a recorded line. Told you. Some other agent yelled, well, we could use Pete's weed with them. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He started giggling and stopped. You don't know. Why didn't I know? It's a shower scene. I didn't even know who the fuck Pete was. They're yelling out my rapist's name. The guy drug and beat and raped me. And I never met him. And they're laughing at me. How I'm being framed. They yell out something else. Why don't I know about it? Because it's a roofie confession. I've gave you the example of my coworker Dar getting taken from a bar, leaving willingly with him after she took a drink from a drink, acted normal and fine, but a little bit happy at first, and then went back to normal. Found herself in a puddle of pee and raising somebody else's kid. She was really sick the next day after she got taken. She didn't even know she talked to him. Just like my neighbor Mike. He didn't know he went out to the bank. He didn't know he went out to eat. And he didn't know how he changed his shoes. Had to go back through I had $80 in my pocket. Well, check your bank. He looks on his phone. I took 100 out. What was in the box with mustard? How did I change my shoes? I'm like, go sleep it off. He's trying to tell me he was a New York cop. I'm like, you really need to sleep it off. Found out he told everybody his astronaut, nice to other people, and told everybody else to F off. Left and drove around high all night. You're sleepwalking. I've talked to sheriffs about those amnesia drugs. They're like, they're so bad. They could have drugged up the people and told them to take down the towers, and they did what they were told. You're sleepwalking for 4 to 6 hours. They bragged in the case they could control anybody with those drugs. That would be like those agents calling up Dar, my coworker that got taken, and say, hey, let's just say the guy's name was Bob that did it. Say, hey, we want to talk about Bob Tate. What Bob? Who's Bob? Oh, that's the guy that raped you. Ha ha ha. He did. You know who it is? You arrest him. No, he just called to laugh at you. When he drugged you and took you and you didn't know what happened to you, he drugged you up and told you, see, you're a weirdo. He did what? Oh, he made it look like you were weird with yourself in some kind of video. He did what? You arrested him. No, he just called to laugh at you. You didn't know. FBI likes to make fun of rape victims. I'll tell you what, they released that tape of those agents mocking me about Pete, and I didn't know who he was. And I didn't know what they were talking about because I still never talked to him. Do you know why I know who he is? I had this little white Santa Claus following me around, okay? I go in on the day of my divorce, 9/18/19. There's a picture of him on the wall, and it says Judge Peter something. And I go in the back, and he's joking around with Judge Timothy Ludick, okay? And outside my room, I never talked to him. It was supposed to be his daughter, Michelle. Dave was dating. He can't touch anything with conflict of interest either. And retired judges have no authority. I asked Cecily Mullins up there who he was. She said if his picture was on the wall, he's been retired a long time. He has no authority. I asked Dixie if she knew about Michelle. She's like, yeah, I know about her. Well, I asked her later on. I said, well, I know you knew about Michelle. Did you know about retired Judge Pete? She said, yeah, it was ridiculous what both of them did to you for Dave to go out with other people. It was none of their damn business. I said, are they still dating? And she said, no, that they broke up way before Kathy. Kathy was in 20. So they broke up right after the divorce in 19. It was no longer fun for her. She's an 18-year-old kid. I told you, when I called that hotline, those agents were so rude to me. I told you I had called the hotline, and the next morning I woke up, I had rivers of tears running down my face. And I kept saying, I can't. I don't know why. And who's that? The phone's ringing, letting it go to voicemail. I can't. Rivers of tears. Listen later to the voicemail. This is agent da-da-da, call me back, roll over. I can't. I remember staggering to the bathroom, into the refrigerator, trying to get something to drink. I'm not much better the second day. The third day, I make myself get up, and I'm sitting on the front porch. What's wrong with me? I feel like I'm drunk, and I don't drink. And I'm trying to get air in my face. I go out to mow the lawn, and just to get air in my face, because I didn't want to look stupid pacing up and down the yard. And, so I put the lawnmower in my hand so nobody would think anything of it. And halfway through, I thought of Sarah. I already gave the hotline Sarah's information. So I call her, of course, Karen, I'm scared for you. Okay? Witness for you. It's getting darker and scarier the way she talks about it. So I go out and get changed, and I go out and get her a card. And I make an excuse to go down the mall. We drop it off, and her manager put it in her locker. We go up to Apostolic Church of Barberton. Paul Paymer is in Dave's face. My God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. I walk off, and he's like, how dare you bring the FBI up here with threats on her life? And two women walk up. And they say he knows she's being drugged, beaten, raped, and he said he didn't care. I had giant bruises, orange, lemon, and grapefruit size all over me. Okay? I had a severe swollen personal infection. I had lost 18 pounds. I go in and I sit down. And they follow me in and say it again. You know, she's being drugged, beaten, raped. And he said he didn't care. He said if she was going to be faking she was sick and faking she got well while that family was grieving, he didn't care what they did to her, and he was going to turn her over to him. Can you imagine an agent saying that? Dave comes in, let's go. That's the strangest lie he made up for Dave to cheat. It was a medication error. Okay? Severe medical malpractice and a medication error. Swelled up like a balloon, almost died. Okay? It's verified as a medication error. 20 years ago, they told me to sue him for medical malpractice. Stranger made up that lie so his friend could cheat and his wife would have to sit at home because he's an occult leader. A low-educated occult leader. Okay? We get out in the truck. Dave said, started yelling at me, and he's, I ought to kill you myself. And he starts swinging at me in the truck till I almost jumped out on the highway. He's trying to punch me in the truck. Okay? I run from him when I get home. Next day I call that agent. I have rivers of tears. I've had 4 attempts on my life. 4 attempts. 2 of them verified by the police. 2 of them, the other 2 witnesses are knowledgeable. A witness of the attempted kidnapping and Dave breaking into Dixie. He knew I was getting carjacked and left me. Okay? And now they're showing back up. And I'm scared. It's them and they're here. Okay? I tell him about the guy that I told him someone told on me the night before. Calls me a lie. It's verified by officers. It was the agent that called me back. Dave told Danny to talk to him. He didn't want the name of the church. He didn't want the phone number. Just called me a liar because it was him. Okay? I told him about the guy that threatened to knife me. He said, was there a camera above the bench? I don't know. He said, if you don't know if there's a camera above the bench, you better say you're lying or I'll arrest you. I said, well, he tried to kidnap me before. And he called me a liar. He's a known kidnapper for the human traffickers. The authorities know what he looks like. And he's calling me a liar and a known serial killer. That's who he let go. And he's like, he calls me a liar. And then he tells me, if you don't say you're lying, I'll put you in jail. If you don't know if there's a camera above that bench. Now, either say it or arrest you. It's like, fine, whatever. Then he bullies me into more false statements. Okay? Then why would the FBI help a person like you? Well, they've tried to kill me. So? They're going to try to kill me. So? Give me a real reason. And somebody off in the distance goes, well, we could use Pete's tape. Will you with yourself? I don't even know who Pete is. And it's a shower scene in the other room. Photoshop by the girlfriend's dad and a drug scale. I said, I don't even know what you're talking about. I've never even met him. He starts giggling and stops. She doesn't know. Yells out something else. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I've never talked to him. The only Pete I know is my brother Pete that lives in Medina. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't even know who they're talking about. And he starts giggling. Stop. She doesn't know. And they're making fun of me for being drugged and framed. And they're calling out my rapist's name. The one that's been drugging me, beating me, and raping me. And I don't know who he is. It's that sick. And they're giggling at me. Give me a real reason. Well, I told him my brother-in-law was a private consultant for the FBI, unrestricted war weapons, spyware, and traveled the world. He worked under Dick Cheney. That makes him CIA. And I told him his name and when he died. Well, I could move you out somewhere, but it comes with no money and I'll just leave you. Well, I have no money saved up. I'll be homeless. I can't be homeless. Well, I could, if you agree to get some information on Dave and the churches, I can open an informant program. Comes with $5,000 a month. I'm opening an account today. You have that money to live on when you move out. Okay? He said, I'll make sure no man touches you. I'll pull you out if it gets too bad. You have a life of peace as an informant. Nothing legally dated against you again. And only for you would we ever do this for, boys. Put it back to the traffic ticket, even when you tell. You can't be legally charged for anything again for working this case. You'll have that money to live on. And then he threatened me if I told. I told my friend from the prosecutor's office, laughed until he had tears in his eyes. Tears. He said, that, for one thing, that agent can't bully you into false statements. The police know they can't do that, and they can't go along with that. He said, and he can't put a restriction on you. You can't say anything. He doesn't have that kind of authority. He is only a higher officer, basically a not higher cop. It takes a sitting judge to put a gag order on you. He said, and they can only do it during a sequester jury or grand jury in some kind of trial to take your freedom of speech away. He was only bullying you to stay quiet so they get away with it. No sitting judge would ever sign a court order taking your freedom of speech away outside those jury trials, because the Department of Justice would put that judge in jail for breaking constitutional laws. He was only bullying. He said the only thing he can put in the witness, he said in any witness protection program, you can tell whoever you want, and they can't say a word to you. It's who you feel comfortable in telling. He said, and they can't say a word. They don't have that kind of authority. It takes judges to take your freedom of speech away. And they can only do it in those court trials. He was only bullying you to get away with it. The only thing they can put in there is your money and your immunity. And as far as the FBI, they can never legally drop you. The Department of Justice will put them in jail. He said once the government agrees to protect you, they cannot unprotect you. The Department of Justice put them in jail. They owe you for the rest of your life the $5,000 a month. If you work 5 minutes a case, an hour a case, or whatever, you get them information. They owe, and they cannot stop the money from coming in, and they cannot stop protecting you. Or they can put you in another witness protection program, but they have to speak to you first, and all of them come with immunity and the money. I found out they can add living and housing expenses and a medical card. But that's it. And it's up to the victim if they get out of it or not. They owe me $295,000. That's where those agents stole. And left me out there and fed me to a drug cartel. Dirty officers of the law, stealing and victimizing victims. Like they have said around me, even the police could not be in your home watching her unless she was listed an informant. They had statements on from everyone there. I have talked to Officer Reinhardt Louisville. Even the FBI would go to jail outside to protect a live case with statements. It's illegal to be in somebody's home no matter what. And that agent had to take your statement and agree to protect you. And they had to have the statements or they'd go to jail and they'd get thrown out. And as far as Portage County, they couldn't work a case against you in your whole life. It's a conflict of interest. There's a retired judge involved in family, and for family and friends, they cannot work a case against you. The Department of Justice have put them in jail. And you can't touch anything for your baby girl and frame the wife and drug up. That's how stupid it is. They should have been nailed to that agent's desk. My one friend, thinks they padded that agent's pocket a little bit too good to not arrest her. My friend from the prosecutor's office that used to work there, this is the back door deal. When they do pads. because it should have been RICO charges. Racketeering. Racketeering is drugs, kidnapping, rape, extortion, embezzlement. Sound familiar? They should have been nailed to the desk for even saying they were in my home stalking me. They're crackhead tapes. That's why the drug cartel made fun of the FBI. The November 18th, 22, Walmart 62, one of the drug dealers, Eric. All the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to say it, my idea to do it. For all these people to turn on her, and they actually fell for it. And the other guy's like, well, if it was only you, I could take care of it. I know it's that bad. And they still fell for it. June 7th, 23, Lighthouse Tabernacle, Walmart 62, again, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. FBI agent John fell for the stun of tapes before. Oh, come on now. That agent actually fell for a stun of tapes before? You're kidding. It was only a stunt. John actually fell for it. Is that what's going on? That FBI agent actually fell for it? You mean FBI agent John actually fell for the stun of tapes before? Ha 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 ha. Is that what's going on? That why they actually got away with it? Because FBI agent John fell for the stun of tapes before. Ha ha ha. There's whole videos. People who talked about it clear up in Fairlawn, in Canton, all kinds of places. Want to play? Then July 9th, 23 in Trinity Hospital, behind me and my client. Women admit to selling the log into the case, and the FBI wouldn't dare fix it after what one of their agents did. I thought, SWAT teams, hailstones from heaven, they got your confessions, they're going to get you. And nothing. It's like, what the hell are they doing? Huh? These people are running around breaking it. You can't be hired. Like they said, that idiot couldn't hire a stalker. He can't hire his girlfriend's dad and drug friends to drug me up. Lie they have sodium pentothal reports. Everybody knows you sleepwalk with roofies. They had LSD and acid and stuff back in the 60s where people hallucinated and walked around sleepwalking. And they've refined the roofies to the point they can put in an injection and just jab you with it. It's what they were doing to me. It's called needling. They do it in bigger cities. It's called research. There's all kinds of amnesia drugs. You're sleepwalking for 4 to 6 hours. I've talked to sheriffs about them. And they're like, those things are so bad. They could have drugged up the people and told them to take down the towers. And they don't know they did it. Just like Darg didn't know she was taken from a bar and she was willingly going with him and she didn't even meet him. Just like Mike didn't know how he got home and where he'd been all. And then he told people he was an astronaut, and he giggled like crazy when he found out he told me he was a New York cop. Think about it. They're sleepwalking. Under somebody else's control. They do it to rape them. And they have no memory. I'm going to upload this, but people need to realize how not funny it is. People have been taken by the drug cartel, they've been sold, and they've been murdered. And that agent opened a real case with statements and just let it run and stole the money. And they have been made of fools out of the FBI and mocked them. And those agents broke federal constitutional laws and acknowledged that they had been in contact with Dave, because Dave told Deanie, her son, that he hired Pete on his own. Huh? So when they yell about Pete, they've talked to Dave. I'm going to upload this.